One of the most unique military vehicles or weapons that I've ever seen is the Goliath. This tracked mine paved the way for remote control vehicles in robotic warfare, autonomous vehicles, and remote control military hardware such as drones. Join us today as we look at the remarkable Goliath. Remember to support the channel, please make sure to subscribe. During the First World War, inventors devised different small remote controlled tracked vehicles which were intended to carry explosives. During this conflict, the French developed two of these vehicles. The Crocodile Schneider Torpille Terrestre would carry a 40kg explosive charge and was used in a limited capacity in 1916. It performed poorly and was overshadowed by the birth and use of the first tanks. The other vehicle was the Aubrey-Gabay Torpille Electrique, which was driven by a single electric motor but powered by a trailing cable. This vehicle may have been steered by clutch control on the tracks, and its task was to cross no man's land to attack the enemy. The Americans also invented the Wickersham Land Torpedo in 1918, so remote control vehicles had been invented prior to the Second World War. In the 1930s, a similar remote control vehicle to the land torpedo was developed by a French designer, Adolphe Cagrès, the man who would invent the half-track and also the dual-clutch transmission. In late 1940, following the outbreak of World War II, the Germans recovered Cagrès's prototype, and the Wehrmacht Ordnance Office ordered an automotive company based in Bremen to develop a vehicle similar to this. The purpose of this vehicle was to carry a minimum of 50kg of explosives, and the result would be known as the Sd.kfz 302, or the Light Charge Carrier, or Goliath. This early Goliath would be able to carry 60kg of explosives and was remotely steered using a joystick control. The control box was connected via a 650 metre cable attached to the rear of the vehicle. The 3-strand cable connected was used for control and for transmitting power. 2 strands were used to move and steer the Goliath, with the 3rd strand being used for detonation. The Goliath was intended to be disposable and designed in a way to blow up its target easily. The early 302 Goliaths used an electric motor, but these were expensive to make and also difficult to repair, so a more straightforward and simpler gasoline engine was used in the next model, the 303. The 302 had 5mm of armour on board and had an operational range of around 1.5 km on road and 3/4 km off-road. The development of the 303 allowed for a bigger range, with 12 km on road and 7 km off-road. The Goliath was used on all fronts by the Wehrmacht, and they entered service in 1942, being mostly used by panzer units. Goliaths also saw service at Anzio in Italy against the Polish resistance in the Warsaw Uprising, and some were even sighted on the beaches of Normandy during D-Day. There were around 7,000 used overall, and the later models would carry 100kg of explosives. The main purpose of the Goliath was for destroying tanks, breaking up infantry formations, and also in destroying and blowing up buildings, bridges, or other structures. As mentioned earlier, the Goliath was a single-use weapon, and they aren't considered a huge success as they weren't cost-effective, had poor ground clearance, and were very slow. Also, another issue was the control cable, as this could be vulnerable, and if broke, the Goliath was basically useless. The thin armour also couldn't protect this vehicle, and they could be knocked out by small arms fire. Its weight and size also meant that it wasn't easy to carry and wasn't the most portable weapon. Some also failed to reach their targets, however they were effective in destroying structures if they did. Many Goliaths were captured by the Allies, and they were assessed by the Allies as having very little military value or worth. The US Air Force interestingly used some of the Goliaths as aircraft tugs, however they were quick to break down as they weren't designed for repeated use. Although the Goliath is a rather unique and interesting vehicle of the Second World War, its practicality wasn't great. When used effectively, it did have some success, but its most important legacy definitely is how it paved the foundations for developments in remote control vehicle technology. Once again, thank you for watching. To support the channel, please make sure to subscribe. Once again, thanks for watching.